I want to ask, so some people say that, okay, you know how you mentioned that science often complements religion, especially Islam. I don't know too much about science, but some people say people can be born homosexual. So why would God create someone in the state of sin?
Okay, see, the question here is firstly regarding a law which is found in Islam, that practicing homosexuality is prohibited. So the question would be, why would God create someone as a homosexual and then prohibit them from doing such a thing? These are two distinct things. Firstly, the law, whether the law is correct or not, we would say the law is correct because Islamic law, we would say, has its roots in divine revelation. So the law is correct, but the objection is, why would God create someone in such a way and then prohibit them from doing so? Now, this question can be answered in two ways. One is, men have an inclination towards women, but men are also prohibited from womanizing. So that objection really doesn't carry any weight, meaning certain men have an inclination for women and they are only allowed to fulfill that inclination through marriage, but any other way they are prohibited. So even their natural inclination is limited. But the second way of responding to this, and this is a question to everyone here, you are all university students and some of you may be biology students also, is for many years I have been asking for scientific proof, maybe someone can provide that scientific proof, that people are born homosexual. Is this something that has been circulated and made prominent today due to political reasons, that we are made to believe that people are born homosexual? Or meaning, what is the actual scientific proof for this? What scientific experiment occurred? What basis is this statement made? Because as far as I know, this is based upon the Kinsey report. And the Kinsey report was something that was carried out in the 1930s. Meaning, the Kinsey report is not scientific data that can be trusted. Anyone who knows about the Kinsey report will know that Kinsey was a researcher who went around America and compiled information in a book on sexuality in America. And based on that, the modern statement has arisen that people are born homosexual. So is this a scientific fact, or is this something that has been made famous amongst people in order that they believe without questioning those facts? So if anyone is able to present any strong scientific data, I would appreciate that for my own research.
Just to go back to what we were discussing about sexuality, the Kinsey report was not a scientific study, it was a social study designed to discover how many people admitted that they had attraction to the same gender. Then from the Kinsey study we had the Kinsey scale, which proved that most people are in some way attracted to the same gender. We are not exclusively heterosexual. The majority of people are not exclusively heterosexual. As to the scientific evidence of a gene which predicts homosexuality, to date, there is no gene which predicts homosexuality, but we do know that hormonal influences in the womb can cause a person to be homosexual. For instance, men who tend to have many older brothers will prove to be homosexual at a higher rate than people, or rather men who don't have as many older brothers. So statistically, if you have 7 older brothers and you are a man, you are more likely to be homosexual than a man who has 3 older brothers. So we know that hormones in the womb, so from our mother, influence men when it comes to their sexuality. As for lesbians, there's no research that has currently been done. This is not a question, I just wanted to clarify where science was when it comes to sexuality.
With regard to that as well, I would say even the scientific data that you've presented would be something circumstantial and statistical, nothing really concrete. Meaning it's nothing factual, like if you present to me the theory of relativity or Newton's second law or something, meaning something that a person can actually test. So it's something circumstantial. The stats that have been given, meaning a person looks into the data, meaning are those statistics compiled only in specific countries, in specific places, were those stats carried out in Africa, in Asia, in different regions of the world. There's nothing, and it's interesting you mentioned also the Kinsey report. What they concluded from the Kinsey report is also, again, like you said, it's not scientific, it's very prone to error, meaning the data is prone to error.
Going back to the homosexuality question, because you didn't think, I don't know the lady's name over there, but you didn't think the evidence she presented was sufficiently strong. Can you present any stronger evidence that people are born heterosexual?
Again, I have no position on the scientific data regarding how people are born, whether they are born homosexual or heterosexual. I'm not the one making the point. Meaning I want to receive information from you that is convincing.
Yes, but you had a position on it a few moments ago and you didn't think the lady over there's evidence was strong enough.
Yeah, I think that is not convincing enough for me.
Yeah, so can you provide more convincing evidence that people are born heterosexual?
Again, I've not made that claim. So I would only have to provide evidence if I'm making a claim.
But by rejecting the claim that gay people are born homosexual, you're implying that they're born heterosexual, so you aren't asking that claim.
The implication is made by yourself. I'm saying a child is born with no sexuality initially as a child. Child has no sexuality. They grow into sexuality in their teen years. Is that not the case? We've all experienced that. I mean, a child cannot be born heterosexual or homosexual. A child is a child.